It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, today we're going to jump on that interactive board and go through Toshiba Tec's FY 2022. The numbers are in. The numbers look good. Toshiba's increased their operating profit. Toshiba's increased their top-line revenue. But, folks, we all know that if you think about the print business at Toshiba Tec, it's a $1.6 billion global number, and it's really hard to imagine that Toshiba Tec could be a $5 or $6 billion print business globally. Unless, of course, they aligned with someone strategically to get them there. Over the years, I talked about that alignment maybe being with Ricoh. But boy, the more I look at Ricoh's financial situation, the more I think about all the bad decisions that Ricoh's made over the last decade and a half, the more I probably don't want to wish that on Toshiba Tec. But there is an OEM out there I believe Toshiba Tec could partner with that could really shake things up. Not only for Toshiba Tec, but for the marketplace. If you want to grow your revenue substantially and at the same time disrupt the marketplace, that's a good thing, especially in a market that needs to be disrupted. So I'm going to share my thoughts on who I believe this partner for Toshiba Tec could be that could really shake things up. But before I do that, I want to share the numbers on Toshiba Tec. And before I do that, I want to remind everybody who exactly owns Toshiba Tec. Toshiba Tec is owned by the Toshiba Corporation. The Toshiba Corporation, the mothership, if you will, owns 52.3% of Toshiba Tec. 52.3%, so they got the control. They do say that they give Toshiba Tec autonomy, but at the end of the day, the mothership, if you will, has total control over Toshiba Tec. Let's look at the top line revenue for Toshiba Tec. Total company, both divisions, the workplace and the retail, $3.7 billion of top line revenue with an operating profit of $118.6 million. That's 3.1%. I do want to share with you, though, the second half of FY 2022 for Toshiba Tec, they increased the operating profit percentage. The first half, they were sitting on 2.4%. Second half, they brought it up to 3.8%. They ended up at 3.1%, so they're definitely going in the right direction. They're increasing that operating profit. They're paying attention to costs like all the actors in the industry need to do. Congratulations to Toshiba Tec. Let's look at these individual divisions. We got the Retail Solutions Group. That's an exciting group. I've shared my thoughts on this before. Those cashierless cash registers, all that retail technology, the smart shopping cart, all that stuff. Really cool stuff, right? I mean, that's stuff you could envision sticking around for a long time. Total revenue for the year in that group was $2.1 billion. They had an operating profit of $67.7 million, 3.1%. Let's look at our Workplace Solutions Business Group, and that's where all that print business lives. $1.6 billion in top-line revenue with a $50.8 million operating profit, 3.2%. Ladies and gentlemen, in the second half of FY 2022, the operating profit in the print business was 4.9%. I mean, just right at the heels of 5%, and we need to congratulate Toshiba Tec for that, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that in a minute. But that's good. They're going up. And we need to get these operating profits for the whole company in that 5%, 6% number. The economy's in trouble. We got the cost of money growing every single day. And we've got to pay attention to our profitability. And we can't be chasing revenue at all costs. And if we're going to chase revenue, we need to have a strategy in place to make sure that the revenue we catch comes along with some profit. I also want to remind everybody about the Workplace Solutions Business Group business in the domestic marketplace of Japan. For the FY 2022 year, it was $117.1 million. You can see it's an extremely small percentage of the total revenue to Toshiba Tec. And I'm sure Toshiba Tec, when they have their meetings, they're always trying to figure out how are we going to grow our domestic market. We've got to grow that business. We've got to grow the business of print in our domestic market. When I share with you a vision of a partnership I believe would be great for Toshiba Tec, I think it would also help them in their domestic market. If you look at this Retail Solutions Group domestic market, $1.1 billion is 30% of their total revenue. So they're doing well in the retail business in the domestic market. How do they get that print business in the domestic market to grow too? And how do they get that print business to grow all over the world? How do they disrupt the marketplace all over the world? We're getting close to me sharing that. But I want to talk about some of the highlights. They had significant year-over improvement in both sales and profit. And folks, here's the deal. Improved performance in second half of FY 2022, mainly in the Workplace Solutions Group. 4.9% operating profit. This was a huge deal. I mean, you've seen some of the financials I've been posting lately. A 4.9% operating profit in the print sector is good. So we need to congratulate Toshiba on that. They also had a great return on invested capital. It's up to 8.2%. It was negative 5.7% in FY 2021. So they're doing a lot of things growing in the right direction. Free cash flow is $123.7 million. So you could see Toshiba Tech's got the disciplines in place to make sure they're growing their operating profit, to make sure they keep their cash flows where they need to be. And at the end of the day, the only thing they need now is they need a strategic partner that can help them grow that business to being a $10 or $15 billion a year business. Now I want to share with you my thoughts on that. Toshiba needs an ink strategy. I've been talking for a while now about how I believe that business printing will be based on ink. And those old laser A3 machines are going to go away. And the end users are going to buy machines that are based on ink. That gives Epson a good position. That gives Brother a good position. That gives my friends at Kyocera a good position as they develop more of their technology around ink. But what could Toshiba Tec do to help them with a strategy around ink and to help Toshiba Tec grow that business of print all over the world, especially in their domestic market? Ladies and gentlemen, what about Toshiba and Brother coming together? Could you imagine if Toshiba and Brother could come together and they could go to the Toshiba conglomerate and they could form some kind of an alliance where the Toshiba conglomerate is just be an investor in the new Toshiba Brother? Could you imagine what Brother and Toshiba could do together? Think about it, folks. I mean, this isn't just about A4, okay? This is about taking really good ink-based A4 MFPs and replacing A3s. This is about Toshiba having a massive MIF, right? They got a MIF. I guess we couldn't call it massive when you think about it from a global perspective, but they have a lot of business customers. Toshiba has an infrastructure that understands selling into those business customers, and they could help Brother get that ink technology, those MFPs that they're making now, and they're making some more robust MFPs. But Toshiba could help Brother get those into the business world. This would be disruptive. It would be extremely disruptive. How they formulate this, who knows? But I think this is a strategic partnership that could really make some sense for both Toshiba and Brother. Think about the revenue together. The print business for Brother is $3.6 billion. The domino business for Brother is $745.5 million, and that's where they have that big roll-fed label printers and things. If they brought all that together with Toshiba's $3.7 billion, that's an $8 billion, $45 million business around print. Now they're a player. And think about how they could grow. Think about how Brother could help Toshiba Tec in the domestic market, how they could work together. Think about how Brother and Toshiba coming together would allow Toshiba to take that retail business and create some synergies around Brother's customers. Ladies and gentlemen, our industry's got to consolidate. They got to form relationships. They got to have a strategy. And when I think about Toshiba and Brother coming together, I get a little bit excited about thinking about it. I don't know what's going to happen in our industry, but I truly, truly wish that Toshiba Tec could figure out a way to form an alliance with somebody so they could get away from the Toshiba conglomerate and let the Toshiba conglomerate just be an investor. Just some things to think about, my friends, because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.